Okay, I'm going to show you how to do an I-cord cast on. So that gives you this nice kind of roped edge at the bottom of your work. You're going to need to do this on double pointed needles or a circular needle because we have to go back and forth without turning rows. So the work has to slide back and forth. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cast on 3 stitches. Okay, and I'm just going to cast on with the long tail cast on method for 3 stitches. Okay, and now we're going to do the I-cord. So with the I-cord, you're not going to be turning back and forth. You're going to be sliding the stitches down and then working them. So what we're going to do is we have our yarn in the back. Okay, let me just stick that. So yarn is in the back, and you'll see the yarn is actually coming off the opposite end. So the yarn is going to be in the left. So we're going to knit this first stitch, and we're actually just going to bring the yarn over. And by doing this, it kind of creates a roping. And we're just going to knit all 3 stitches. Okay, I'm just going to tie up my tail so that I don't accidentally knit the tail. Okay, so we want to do this a total of 34 times. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to slide it all the way down to the other needle. So if you were using double points, you could just slide it down to the other section of your double points. And then we're going to knit. So you go in, and the yarn's going to be coming from the left. Okay. So you're just going to knit as normal. Okay, and remember, we do not turn. So after the row, we're going to slide it down to the other needle, and then we're just going to keep going. So now we're going to knit 3, and each row is just 3 stitches. And you'll see already it's starting to form a cable. Okay, and again we go slide the needles down and knit 3 stitches. And that's all we're doing. So I'm going to come back once I get the 34 stitches. Okay, I have finished my cord. Now if you're wondering if you didn't keep track of your stitches, of your rows, and you're wondering how to count them, it's the same as when you count stockinette stitch. So you can see little V's all through here. There's one here. So you would just count each V, and then that'll be how many rows you've done. So now what we're going to do is we have to pick up stitches all along this cord. So at first we're going to knit 3. So that's just like what we've been doing. So we're going to knit the first 3. And now we're going to go into all the stitches on the side. So if you look at them from the side also, you'll see the V's that are here. So we want to go underneath the V's. So we're going to go underneath this one so that we get 2 loops that are on the needle to pick up the stitch. And we're just going to wrap around, and then we knit through them. So we're picking up and knitting. And we're going to do that for 32 more times. Okay, so again we go to the next V, go underneath both strands of the V, wrap around, and bring it through. So underneath both strands, wrap around, and bring it through. And you're just going to do this all the way around. So you'll actually end up, because we had 3 on the needle, we're picking up 33. So you're going to end up with 36 stitches. And then we have to pick up an additional 3 from the other end. So I'm just going to keep going. We go underneath both V's, bring it through, and just go to the next one. It takes a little bit of practice to do this. If you kind of hold the yarn taut as you go through and kind of work it with both hands, it's a little bit easier. And just remember to size the stitches by bringing them off the point. So once you go in, just make sure you slide it back onto the thicker part of your needle and don't keep it up at the point. If you keep it up at the point, it's going to be too tight when you go to work your stitches for the next row. So we're just going to keep picking up as we go along. And again, we don't want to go under just one strand. You want to go under both strands of the V. It'll give it more of a solid foundation. And then you'll be able to see a clean line all the way down for what we're picking up. And you just want to make sure you don't split the yarn. So we want the stitches to be clean. Okay, so let's just count our stitches. Okay, so when you get to your to the end, you are going to pick up 3 that are on the edge as well. So you're just going to go in again, wrap around, go through, and then go into the last stitch. And again, don't go under just 1, try and go under 2. The last one's going to be a little bit tricky. Okay, so that is your I-cord cast on. So you can see it already looks like you've worked a row or two. You get a nice roping along the edge. and you're all ready to start your next project.